Close your eyes for a moment. Not just imagine it, feel it. Feel the warmth of a long British summer that seemed to stretch forever. The kind of summer where time slowed down, where days felt wide and open, and childhood lived in every corner of the street. No glowing screens, no buzzing phones, just fresh air, scraped knees, and the sound of life happening outside. This was Britain in the 1970s, a world that raised a generation, a childhood that didn't need constant entertainment because everything already felt alive. You woke up early, not because an alarm demanded it, but because excitement pulled you from bed. You didn't check messages, you opened the front door, and there they were, friends already waiting. No planning, no calling ahead. You just knew they'd come. The street belonged to you. Bikes leaned against garden walls. Chalk marks faded slowly from the pavement. Laughter echoed between houses as if it had always lived there. Inside the house, the radio played softly. Radio 1 drifted through open windows, mixing with the smell of toast and the sound of cups clinking in the kitchen. Music wasn't background noise, it was part of the air. And then there was Blue Peter. When that trumpet theme began, something changed. The room went quiet, not because anyone told you to be quiet, but because you wanted to listen. Blue Peter wasn't flashy, it didn't rush you, it spoke to you like you mattered. You watched ordinary things turn into something special. A washing up bottle became a spaceship, a cardboard box became an invention. You met pets with personalities bigger than some adults, and you watched time capsules buried for a future you could barely imagine. And those badges. Owning one felt like a medal of honor, not for winning, but for trying, for creating, for belonging. School days had their own rhythm. Every morning, glass bottles of milk waited patiently by the classroom door. By break time, they were warm, sometimes too warm, but nobody complained. You peeled back the silver foil cap, pushed in the paper straw, and hoped it wouldn't collapse halfway through. That clink of bottles, that chatter with friends, that pause in the day that everyone shared. It wasn't just milk, it was a moment that belonged to everyone. When the bottles disappeared, it felt like something small but important went missing. Even now, the memory of those bottles sitting on a windowsill still smells like childhood. Weekends felt different. Saturday mornings meant cinema clubs, a few coins in your pocket, sticky floors, rows of excited children buzzing with noise. The lights dimmed, the projector whirred, and suddenly the high street faded away. Cartoons flickered, serials continued, kids sang loudly and laughed even louder. For a few hours, you weren't just watching something, you were part of something. Walking back into the sunlight afterwards, you felt changed, already counting the days to next Saturday. Getting to school didn't involve cars or traffic jams. You walked, rain or shine, scarf flapping in the wind, satchel swinging at your side. You knew every crack in the pavement, every shortcut, every doorstep where a friend would join you. No phones, no panic, just trust, responsibility, and the quiet pride of doing it yourself. Those walks taught confidence long before anyone called it that. Music had weight back then. You held it in your hands, sliding a vinyl record carefully from its sleeve, studying the artwork like it was part of the music itself. Lowering the needle felt important, almost ceremonial. Albums weren't skipped, they were listened to from start to finish. Lyrics were read from printed sleeves. Covers became posters. Friends argued passionately about who had the best sound. That soft crackle before the first note still lives in memory. Vinyl didn't just play music, it made you fall in love with it. Then there were Panini stickers. That crinkle of foil, the smell of fresh ink, the hope that this packet might finally hold the one you needed. Playgrounds became busy trading floors. Swaps were serious business. Duplicates were gold. Completing your album felt like winning something huge. Those albums stayed long after the season ended, pages worn thin with pride. Even now, one Panini logo can send everything rushing back. Happiness often came in glass bottles. Tizer, Corona, bright colors glowing behind shop counters, the pop of the cap, the rush of bubbles, that sugary kick that made any day better. Returning empty bottles for pennies felt clever, almost grown up. That clink of glass still echoes in memory. Sweets were treasures. Spangles melted slowly as wrappers crinkled in your pocket. Dip-dabs turned sweets into theater, leaving sticky fingers and chalky smiles. They weren't just treats, they were tiny celebrations. Then came summer holidays, 6 weeks that felt endless. Mornings started with toast and then straight outside. Streets became playgrounds, fields became football pitches. Even boredom felt free because it belonged only to you. You came home in the evening grass-stained, sun-tired, glowing, hair smelling of summer air, and stories too big to explain. Those holidays didn't just pass, they shaped you. Nothing turned heads like a Raleigh Chopper. That padded seat, those high handlebars, that gear lever. Heavy and awkward maybe, but none of that mattered. It wasn't just a bike, it was status. Every skid, every wheelie, every scraped knee added to your legend. Sunday afternoons had a sound. The top 40 countdown on Radio 1. Finger hovering over the record button, praying the DJ wouldn't talk over the intro. Every climb in the charts felt personal. Those tapes hissed, they stretched, they wore thin, but they stitched music into memory. Evenings belonged to board games spread across the carpet. Monopoly turned families into moguls. Cluedo turned everyone into detectives. Dice rolled, tempers flared. Someone always accused someone else of cheating. Laughter followed. Those moments weren't just games, they were lessons in patience, drama, and togetherness. When decimal currency arrived in 1971, even buying sweets felt confusing. Pennies became pence, coins felt unfamiliar. Shop posters explained conversions, but mistakes still happened. Every sweet bought felt like holding history in your hand. School dinners weren't fancy, but they were comforting. Steaming mash, thick stews, pink custard on sponge, jam roly-poly, treacle pudding, food that felt like a warm hug in the middle of the day. The 1970s weren't just a decade, they were a way of growing up. Slower, freer, full of wonder. No screens, no rush, just moments that stayed with us. And if you're listening now, you don't just remember it, you lived it. These weren't just memories.
Learn Quran online with Hassan al-Basri Quran Academy. We teach Quran online with Tajweed through Skype, Zoom, and WhatsApp all over the world. We offer Quran for beginners, Quran with Tajweed, Qiraat course, Quran translation, Quran memorization, Tafsir course. Learn with qualified expert and trained teachers. So what you waiting for? Join us. Visit over website, HassanalBasriQuranAcademy.com.